Problem 1-109. For each graph below, what are the domain and range? Real quick, domain is the possible input values, or the x-coordinates. Range, possible output values, or our y-coordinates. When we look here at letter A, we see that we have a point above -3, and that graph extends to the right, and we have an open circle, but below it we have another closed circle. So this is going to continue along here with no breaks until we get to +3, which looks like we have an open circle there. So our domain is going to go from -3 to +3 and not include +3. So how can we write that? Just a couple ways. We could say -3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than +3. Or if you like the interval notation, we're being inclusive here and exclusive here. So we've got bracket -3, comma, +3 with a parenthesis. Let's look at range. So that was our domain. Here's our range. Put a little r here. For the range, as we climb up from bottom to top, we see that we have points at -2. So we go up, we have points at +1 and points at +3. So in this case, we have -2, +1, and +3. Next one here, I'm actually going to throw in my little d there. We've got our domain. Well, as you go from left to right, the only point that's above the x-axis or below the x-axis are all on the same line. So we're going to end up saying there that the domain is going to be 2, because every point on this line has the same x-coordinate of 2. For range, well, we're starting here. If we go at 0 and go straight up, it's never going to end. And if we go straight down, it's never going to end. What this ends up being here is all real numbers. You can use the fancy all real number sign. You can use the inequality, which would be -infinity is less than y, which is less than +infinity. Or you can use the interval notation, which is going to be -infinity, comma, +infinity, and then parentheses around it. Last but not least, let's do letter C. So for our domain, we're going to say here, we have a point at -2, and then it extends to the right forever. So x is going to be greater than or equal to -2. For our range, oh, I'm sorry, let's put that in interval notation too. For interval notation here, we're going to say -2 is a boundary, and infinity is a boundary as it goes to the right. So we're going to have a bracket here and a parenthesis there. Last one, let's get this range done. Well, if it starts here and it's going down forever, and it starts here and it's going up forever, we're going to simply end up with all real numbers. That's the same thing as the problem before here. You have -infinity is less than y, which is less than +infinity. Or you could say -infinity, comma, +infinity, and then parentheses. That's problem 1-109. If you need help, make sure you ask your teacher. Thanks for watching. Bye.